supporting volunteers across West Suffolk, but mainly in Haverhill. And it has been great to be a small part of this movement and see the progress ever since 2019. So first, let's talk about how it all started and where we are now. So it started way before my time in 2011 when the first litter pickers were given out, and not much happened till 2016 when the Clare for the Queen nationwide litter picking was organized. Each year after that, Keep Haverhill Tidy organized 2 mass litter picking in spring and in autumn until 2020 when COVID came along and all the group litter picks had to be cancelled. So up until last year, equipment was given out in 2 ways. One of them was that they were lent out to groups for organized events and then collected back again. With COVID restrictions to stop contamination, the lending of equipment had to be stopped. And the other way is individuals could sign up to be a Love Where You Live volunteer and litter pick whenever they want to throughout the year. We can continue to do this for now. This graph shows the individual sign up per year. The number of people participated in group litter picks are not shown in the graph, but it's been around 1,000 people each year who got involved in group litter picks. There was an increase of signing up in 2019, and it's most probably because of volunteer groups are set up in Haverhill and Mildenhall. There is a dip in 2020 due to the first lockdown when we had to stop delivering litter pickers for 2-3 months. But once we were able to resume delivery, it got crazy, and especially at around November, December time when we went to another lockdown. And here you can see the list of towns, how many volunteers signed up with us. To date, we have just under 1,500 volunteers across West Suffolk, and the most active town in the county is Haverhill, even overtaking Bury St Edmunds, which I think is really impressive. It is amazing how active people are in this town, and we are really grateful for the support, strong community support. Among the many factors, you can't deny the power of social media. Everywhere where there's a group or page has been set up for volunteers, the numbers started to increase. The groups are in the order of creation. Rubbish Friends are based in Newmarket countryside and was set up many years ago. Keep Haverhill Tidy and Hightown Tidy was set up in 2019. Southgate Ward's Womblers in 2020, and the one in Newmarket is a recent addition. In Haverhill, it was Joe Mason who started the movement with other people, and as he said it last time, there are many people supporting it in the town. So to encourage other people elsewhere in West Suffolk, please do take pictures while you are out and about and share them on social media. We'll share the best ones on our West Suffolk Council's page. Just tag us with @West Suffolk Council. So before COVID, we supported schools, nurseries, businesses, and organized groups as well as individuals. You can see on the pictures all the past events. And at the moment, we can only support people and groups who already have the equipment, unfortunately. We are hoping that time will come soon when we can work with schools and businesses again, maybe as early as this summer, but realistically, most likely it will be next year. So last time, the question was raised, how can we stop littering? I think the single most important way is education from an early age. So we need to tell children what litter is, how it affects the community they live in, and we need to tell them that a sweet bag thrown away in Haverhill can kill an animal in the North Sea. Young people should have an attitude which says it is not cool to litter. To help you achieve this very easy task, we have a Love Suffolk Hate Litter school pack, which is a great resource for schools or anyone who would like to sit down with children and introduce them to the concept of litter in a fun and engaging way. You can reach this school pack by following this website. But children with time become teenagers, then young adults. We need to keep them engaged, involved, and awarded. So far, I know 2 organizations that awards activities relating to litter picking. One of them is the Blue Peter Badge Award from CBBC, and the other is the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Both of these are a great way to engage young people and get recognition at the end. Awards like these, especially the Duke of Edinburgh Award, could be used later on when they are entering the job market. And a couple of examples here. Harrison and Grayson from Barry got their Blue Peter badge earlier this year, and Josh, also from Barry St Edmunds, did a series of litter picking walks to achieve his Duke of Edinburgh Award back in 2019. These awards are a great way to get recognition, get children excited about the environment by litter picking, teach them responsibility and to be consistent in order to achieve a goal. Maybe Sustainable Haverhill could promote these awards to increase participation among the children in Haverhill. So what's new? If you go to West Suffolk Council's Love Where You Live page, there you can find the online application form to sign up to be a volunteer. There is nothing new there, but we have created a second form where you can now request more waste bags, report damaged litter pickers, or hand back your litter picker if you no longer want to be a volunteer, which I don't think will be used very often, hopefully. You can get to this form by going to the existing one on the website, fill in your contact details, and then choose the option yes when it asks you if you already registered as a volunteer. It will then take you to the new form where you can choose the appropriate box. Here, I would like to thank those volunteers in Haverhill who opened up their home and work as bag hubs. If you need more bags for litter picking, you can request more using this form or get in touch with our dedicated volunteers and arrange collection through them. And the other new thing that we created is a survey. It is very important for us to hear your thoughts about your experience and to know how we can improve our support to volunteers. So we've created a really short survey with a few questions that can help us understand where we are at now and where can we go from here. I would urge all volunteers to fill this survey out and add your comments. It can be reached by clicking on the website on the screen. But also we'll send out a newsletter soon to all volunteers with the link. And if you request more bags, or you go to the second form that I just mentioned before, just fill out the form, then it will take you to the survey directly. We'd really appreciate if existing volunteers could find a couple of minutes to fill out this form. So I would like to talk about the different ways litter can end up around town, around estates, and in parks. One of them is littering on purpose. The other is wind blowing items from the bins, bags and waste left on collection points, and after a busy day in a park, litter is left by a full bin and then it gets blown away. How can we tackle litter? Well, don't litter for start, but obviously, as you can see, there are other ways how litter can spread around. So I'm just going to concentrate on the others. How to stop waste blowing out from household bins. Only put waste out until you can close the lid properly. Sorry. This is especially relevant for recycling bins where the material has to be loose. Any excess waste can be taken to the recycling center, although they only accept already separated recycling material. Put the bin out only on collection day, just before 6:15 a.m. In this way, you reduce the chance for the bin to be contaminated by a pedestrian or the waste to be blown out from it. On windy day, put a heavy object on your bin lid, and hopefully this will stop the wind lifting the lid up and take waste across the streets. So side waste. Side waste is a big issue, especially around areas where bins are left for collection. So please don't leave side waste by the bins. The crew will not collect it. Using the recycling bin regularly and correctly could help you increase the capacity in your black bin. Household waste can be taken to the recycling center for free of charge. They are open. You just need to book an appointment. I keep hearing that the household waste site is not open. It is open, but you have to book an appointment. There are great waste reduction ideas and guidance of what to recycle and where on the Suffolk Recycling website as well. And after a picnic in a park, rubbish should be taken to the next available litter bin or taken back home into a household bin. And here we are. We've reached the present campaign running by Keep Britain Tidy and supported by us. It's been running from last Friday until the 13th of June. There has been already a litter picking last weekend at the Clements, and where I believe West Suffolk Council collected the waste on the day. Just to bear in mind that COVID restrictions still apply, it is important to follow government rules about social distancing and how many people can meet up on an organized event. Please keep an eye on this website, and changes can happen from one day to another. If you are an event organizer, update volunteers about cancellation or unexpected changes, and if the event goes ahead, give a brief talk about the current rules. So we've done the litter picking. Where can we take our collected litter? So for individuals, please take waste home and dispose it in your household bin. If you are litter picking far from home, leave West Suffolk Council bags by a litter bin. Here, I would like to mention that some of the bins only get visited once every fortnight, and during this time, the collected waste could get loose again. Bins at busier locations are emptied 3 times a week, for example, some parts of Railway Walk. Also, if we could ask you not to put large bags into the litter bin, as these bags fill the bin up sooner than intended, and then they overflow, giving a chance to the litter to be blown away again. which you tried to avoid at the first place by litter picking. Waste could be taken to the recycling center again. And there are large bins at the Haverhill depot for litter picked waste, specifically for volunteers. So you are more than welcome to dispose the collected rubbish there too. Facebook is not monitored by us, so I would like to ask you to contact customer services to let us know if you left a bag by a bin, and we'll collect it as soon as possible, but it might be days till we can visit the bin. Don't leave bags at random locations, and as it will take even longer for our crews to spot it if they ever do. So if there is a group litter pick, it's much easier for everyone, but unfortunately with restrictions, we can collect the waste from a group litter pick for now, but it might change in the future. We don't know what's going to happen. So if there's a group litter pick, get in touch with us at least 2 weeks beforehand so we can organize the waste to be picked up. You can also send an email to volunteers@westsuffolk.gov.uk. And then I would just like to mention further opportunities for people who would like to do a bit more for their community. I don't know how many of you are aware of home composting and the campaign that Suffolk County Council is running. This is something close to my heart, as through gardening and home composting, I got involved with waste reduction some 7-8 years ago. The Suffolk Waste Partnership is behind this campaign, and they provide courses as well as you can buy subsidized composting bins, wormeries, hot bins, and bokashis. Why is it important? Think about the carbon footprint that is added for a bin of garden waste to be taken away from a property and then processed somewhere else, versus composting in situ and reuse it in a year's time. Just imagine how much energy we could save by keeping our garden waste in the back garden and use it endlessly there. If you have young children, a compost bin is an excellent place to introduce them to nature, bugs, worms, and all that weird and wonderful world of insects. And would you believe that up to date, there is no master composter registered in Haverhill yet? So it would be great if we could have a couple of enthusiastic individuals starting spreading the message around Haverhill. Master composters are community volunteers that act as a composting ambassador in their local community. So, you know, the opportunity is there. Please just contact master composters at Suffolk, and they will let you know when there's the next available course will be run. I heard they might run the next course online, so people can join wherever they are. And I've put here the community composting, which might be something that Sustainable Haverhill can stand behind and see if it's worth exploring further. Again, it's the same email address can be used to get further information on this. Recycling Hero is this is something that we've been thinking about for some time, but nothing set up yet. We would provide training for a group of people who could then pass on good recycling knowledge to neighbors, friends, and family members. Let us know if you are interested, and we'll look into it if enough people come back to us. Use the volunteers@westsuffolk.gov.uk to indicate your interest. And I think that's it. I'm happy to take some questions if there is any, and if I can answer them. Oops, Sameg.
Thank you, Amon, for that. And that was really interesting. It's fascinating to see how much has been going on over the years and how many people are involved in litter picking, not just in Haverhill, but elsewhere as well. I noticed on your history slide towards the beginning, one thing that you might want to add in is that in Haverhill, the community ambassadors were litter picking from February 2014 through to about 2017 when they stopped. So a kind of forerunner of the Keep Haverhill Tidy group.
Apologies, I didn't know about that.
No, that's nothing to apologise for. But it was the town council bought a large quantity of litter pickers and hoops, and West Suffolk provided lots of bags, etc. And I think Keep Haverhill Tidy have been gradually working their way through the bag supply, and I think I wouldn't know offhand whether they've been able to distribute all of the litter pickers or whether they're still using them. But we can always look at getting some more if necessary.
Mm.
So I guess it's over. Alan, then are you going to take some questions?
Yeah, I'm happy to take some questions. Just after I finished the slideshow, I thought I'd closed up the Zoom meeting. So I didn't know where you all gone.
No, you're okay. So it's also any questions where anyone might want to say a few words about what they get up to as well. I think Paul here has mentioned he takes part in the village litter pick once a year and as a volunteer in the local park. There is a kind of nationally the kind of the spring clean and then the autumn clean up as well, which certainly I've seen that in Haverhill. I was out with the mayor one year. We were washing down the street signs.
Mm.
So anybody want to make any comments or tell us about what they've got up to or what they'd like to get up to?
Yeah, can I speak?
Yeah, sure, Jackie.
I'm a bit concerned about fly tipping at the moment. And I had somebody contact me to say that they had a sofa and a couple of chairs to get shot of. But the first collection date was the 21st of June. Now, they were very responsible and they went, because they didn't want this to sit outside their front house, they were responsible and they went and found a vehicle that they could get everything in, and I assume they took it down to the tip. But it seems to me that, you know, over 3 weeks to wait, and I mean, you are charging for it. It's not as though it's a free service. But I'm wondering whether possibly fly tipping would be slightly better if the council could come and collect things and perhaps the charge could be lessened.
So I'll try to answer this question, but really this is something much higher to be addressed. But what you need to remember that we've got a vehicle and people doing the collection of bulky items, and it has gotten really busy ever since lockdown, and that's why we've got so long for bulky items to be collected. Hopefully with more slots in the recycling center, it will be eased up. To get to bulky items quicker, we would need to buy new vehicles, employ new people, and it's just like something that needs to be considered really carefully. At present, we have our capacity that is given, so unfortunately, that's the time scale that we have to give to people. What I would say is that, you know, the recycling center is free to use. please make use of it. And people who don't have access to vehicle, you are a great community down in Haverhill. Whoever has a vehicle for their disposal, just ask around, or if you need help, you don't have a vehicle to use, ask your neighbor, ask someone, ask your family member whether they can help you out, and take bulky items down to the tip.
But if I asked my neighbour when I had some things to go to the tip, and he's got a small van, and he wasn't allowed into the tip, he ended up going to, I think it was Bury St Edmunds, with my stuff, because I couldn't get it down to the tip in my car, because I couldn't physically get it in the car, and I couldn't physically when I got to the tip, because obviously now the workers at the tip can't help you. So my neighbour very kindly offered to take this for me, and then he couldn't take his small, and she's a small van, into the tip. You see, and this is where I think the fly tipping occurs. It must cost the council a fortune to come and pick up other people's rubbish.
No, it does. You're right. And the only thing I would say to that is that the recycling centre is run by Suffolk County Council, so we don't have that much influence over that, but we can raise this issue and let them know. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't comment on what sort of vehicle can go into it and whatnot.
A small van can't, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
And of course, we're getting a brand new recycling centre. The planning applications are just coming forward from the county council, so we won't be fitting into that small space where the current recycling centre is. And I think Mandy made a comment about walking up those stairs. You'll be pleased to hear there won't be any stairs. The cars will be at the top level, and you just can put stuff over a fence into the skips below. And that means they won't close either for whilst they do any lorry manoeuvres.
Mandy also asked where she can get supplies from. So the form that I just mentioned before, Mandy, you can go to that online form and fill out, request some more bags, and we can deliver it to you. Or I can get you connected with one of our volunteers, who I think they are present as well. And maybe if two of you could work together, you can get some bags from that through that as well.
Yeah, if you could ask Mandy to get onto the Keep Haverhill Tidy group and contact me, I will get that all sorted.
Right, thank you. But might Mandy not be on social media?
I am, but it's no problem. I'll contact them. Thank you.
Lovely, great, thank you.
Did you see
great,
the
sorted.
question from Paul?
If I pick litter around where I live on an individual basis, is there any reason that I should not do this? I would just say that be mindful of who's the landowner, whether if it's private property or a public open space. There is some confusion about what West Suffolk Council or what land West Suffolk Council owes and what Havebury owes. Obviously, we are happy to take waste collected from everywhere. But it's just worth to know that sometimes where there's a litter picking, a group litter picking, and they collect a lot of waste, it is, it might not be our land, but we're still happy to take the waste away. So yeah, just try to find out who the landowner is, and if they don't have any problem with it, go ahead with the litter picking. If I go to the tip, I'm not given help, and I struggle to keep walking up to. Oh yeah, so again, it's something that Suffolk County Council should be approached with. I could pass this on and see what they say.
Okay, so anybody else wanted to ask any questions or make any comments?
My only other comment is I have attended all of the 5 meetings. It's a bit of a shame it wasn't advertised slightly more, so that more people could attend. Do you think if you're ever going to do this again, you could perhaps advertise it slightly more?
We'll certainly try. It was advertised fairly widely, but we don't. It's difficult to tell at the moment why people didn't attend some of the things that they could have attended. We actually emailed everybody who went on the original launch day as well, so they all personally got the details of how to join these meetings. But yeah, we can always try harder, and we certainly will do.
And just a point, I've thoroughly enjoyed all of the 5 meetings, so thank you very much for arranging it.
Thank you for saying that, Jackie. It's appreciated. So obviously Keep Haverhill Tidy is already an active group and has gone from strength to strength. They were, I see on their Facebook page that they were litter picking just this weekend. 30th of May they were out, so that's great. So I think, if people are watching this recording later and want to know how to join, then Jackie, is your Facebook page is the main way just to message on that?
Yes, I think that's normally the main way. Incidentally, on Sunday I did my water awareness course.
That's happened. Good.
Councillor Mason arranged. So we're now past our certificates 1 and 2, so we can actually go, and when we get the risk assessment, etc., set up, we can go down and attempt to clear some of the bits of the stream running through the town.
Excellent. Good. Well, I'm pleased that training's happened. That'll be some interesting activity.
May I just say, Jackie, that I'm really pleased that this has gone ahead, because I'm a keen kayaker as well, and I sort of kayak on the river store at Catawade, and when I started to work in Haverhill 2 years ago, I then just realized that brook ends up at Catawade, and it is really important to take care of the river as well, because obviously from the river it can end up in the sea and then later in the ocean. So if you would like to share how you got to it, maybe we could share it around West Suffolk, and people can copycat what you've done.
Yes, I mean it was Joe Mason that arranged it all. A chap came down from Devon on Sunday to train us.
Wow. I
got very badly sunburnt because I didn't put enough sunscreen on, but it was really interesting. And there's a kingfisher that lives, I haven't seen it this year, but last year I saw it a couple of times just at the back of Argos. I've seen the kingfisher fly past the water there, so
wow.
There is wildlife there, and it's a delight to see a kingfisher.
Nice.
Good. Okay. So I noticed Paul saying that he's recently cleared massive litter from the river in East Town Park. So that's all downstream from Storebrook. So yeah, well done for you doing that. Okay, so in that case, I would say if anyone else wants any information about Keep Haverhill Tidy and they don't have Facebook, then they can also contact the Town Council, who can then put you in contact with Keep Haverhill Tidy Group directly as well. And obviously we support what they do in any case with resources as and when they need them. So in that case, I think what I'll say is thank you very much to Amon for the talk that you gave and leading us in the project. Thank you all for joining us again and for your contributions to the discussion. And hopefully those people who watch this later on will find that really useful. But I'll say good night to everybody then, and I'll stop the recording.